Okay, so currently looking at my content and seeing that it's been a year since we talked about anything Sex and the City related. Like, I think I've made a few references in other videos, but we have not just sat down and actually made a Sex and the City video. So let's begin. Kierra loves TV. Yes, I made a theme song so that I can talk about all my favorite shows. Oh yeah. And this is just your disclaimer that this is not me talking about any of the actors themselves, but more so their characters. Please do not attack me in the comments. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, even those who disagree with me. But let's keep it friendly. All right, let's get started with the show. So here's a not so funny thing that I just did. I've been sitting here watching this movie for at least 10 minutes, and for the first 10 minutes, wasn't even recording. Thought I was. So let me catch you guys up to speed on what's going on. Right now we're at the part where Samantha is trying to go to this auction because she found this ring that she really, really wants, and someone outbid her. Carrie and Big are, well, Big is gonna buy an apartment and Carrie's gonna live with him, and you know, they're still not married. So that's a huge question that's like kind of coming up right now about the specifics of that. Miranda was asking about that. Carrie's just like, oh, I just want you to, you know, just be jealous of me. And at that moment I was like, yeah, she's so insufferable, like even in the movie. So anyway, let's keep going.
I thought it was just sad for me because
I looked up her IMDb. That's what I literally just got done doing when I realized that I wasn't even recording. I kept trying to pinpoint where is she from because her voice sounds so familiar, and only I could find is like she was in Rent. She did In the Heights, was a more recent movie. She did Wild Things with I know this actress because I love Cruel Intentions. My God. Okay, this is embarrassing. It was Neve Campbell. For some reason, I thought I thought the photo on Wild Things was showing the girl from Cruel Intentions, which why can I still not remember her name? She played. Like, this is ridiculous. Why can't I remember people's names all of a sudden? Selma Blair. Selma Blair. I thought that was who was on the cover of the Wild Things poster, but no, it wasn't. It was Neve Campbell, which is from Scream. Embarrassing.
I know her, but
So now Carrie looking at Miranda like, yeah, I know. You literally were just trying to warn me of this.
And I'm deaf.
I'm so excited! 10 years!
Wouldn't you be a little embarrassed though if she said that? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, you know, everybody has their own timeline, but it's just like her announcing that to everybody. Like, I think it's just interesting that they make it seem like 40 is when you just, and it's funny because like right now on the channel, if you guys are paying attention or if you guys are just watching, I'm discussing Desperate Housewives, and it's just really funny how you go from that where like all the women are pretty much, you know, they're a little bit older and things like that, and they have these really exciting lives and everything, and then you like go back to this where it's like people act like turning 40 is like a death sentence or something. I don't really like the hair. I don't really like this look. Like, I like the pearls. The dress feels like it's, I don't know. I'm not, you know, everybody who's been watching for a while, you know, I'm like, when it comes to fashion, like, I don't have the vocabulary really, but I'm not liking it. It seems kind of complicated. Okay, now this look, this is a nice look. I like the dress. I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but I do feel like, you know, it makes sense. I can't really see the shoes right now. I love her hair. I love, those are giant pearls. Yeah, this is really, and this is cute for like editorial, but to get married in, no, I would not go with this. This is too over the top. I'm not too crazy about this look. Now, I am a Vivienne Westwood type of girl. I love me some Vivienne Westwood. Love. Like almost every single look that I've ever seen, which I mean isn't a ton because again, I'm not really like a fashion guru, but I love Vivienne Westwood. So this whole look, I was eating it up. Like, it's really just like that. It's like, say whatever you want about Carrie and her personality, but like the girl knows how to dress. So at this point in the movie, Carrie and Big are getting married because Carrie had concerns about, you know, them living together in the new place and, you know, whether she could potentially just get like thrown out and be left with nothing because they're not married.
I tell you, baby, it's not my style. Besides,
Also, can we just take a second to discuss how a lot of my opinions since I've last reviewed this, they've kind of shifted. Honestly, I would love to do something where I rewatch the entire series all over again after I talk about the new show. Okay, guys, don't crucify me. So I would like to do something where I kind of like go over it again, because my opinions have kind of changed, like on certain things. Like, it's gonna be really shocking to hear, I'm not as big a fan of Miranda and Steve as I used to be. And don't shoot me, okay? Like, I still think there's warmth in their relationship and there is still a certain appeal to it. But like, if we're talking about realistically their relationship, I have a lot of thoughts about it, and it's definitely not the same as it once was. And that's the thing about the internet. Just a little side note, like when you're creating content and you're putting your opinion out there, your opinion can change over time. You have different experiences that make you think differently about things you once were so passionate about, and it's tricky. And it's like it's up there forever. It's kind of like me and Fiona from Shameless. Like, I don't feel exactly the same as I did when I made that video, but if people are going to judge me based off of that video, they're going to think that I still think all those same thoughts, and I don't. In fact, I think a lot more. I think I talked about that on my community tab, about how I wanted to do a video like giving her another analysis, because it's just, I don't feel exactly the same. Some things, yeah, some things I still think, but other things, no. Other things have definitely changed. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments.
So those guys had, I'm right here.
No nonchalant men in 2025. Like, I'm gonna need you to step, okay? Bring back yearning, bring back love letters, bring back love, man, like real love. Like, and honestly, if you're out there, and I kind of just wish that I had felt like this before, like years ago. But if you're out there and you feel like the love that you actually want, the love that you see on social media, or that you see, and you shouldn't base your life around social media either, but if you know there's a certain type of man or a certain type of partner that you're looking for out there, don't convince yourself that you can never have that. Don't convince yourself that you're not worthy of having that, because that is an easy trap to fall into when all you can see is a certain type of partner. But that does not mean that that's all that's out there, and you deserve to be happy with whoever you're with.
You make me very happy.
Yeah, put it in writing.
So what's happening is this little wedding that was supposed to be very small and intimate and just, close friends, whatever. Like, it started off, it wasn't supposed to be a big deal, and that's what they agreed upon. Now it's in page 6. Now she's doing a Vogue shoot. This wedding just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I want you guys to pay attention to that. I'm not even gonna lie, he's kind of getting on my nerves too, and that's weird because I've seen this so many times, and he never aggravates me during the scene that much, but yeah, shh.
Anything you want to tell me?
And see, this is the sweetness to them that makes you, it kind of reels you back in, and you're like, oh, look at them. Like, I think that was always supposed to be the premise of their relationship, is that she's very serious and she takes life so seriously, and he makes her think about life in a different way. And that was the appeal for me, for them. They're doing the do, because that moment was all they needed. And so they're doing it, and then all of a sudden, Miranda says to Steve, let's just get it over with.
But that's a dry spell.
I bet it is.
What about you and Big?
I bet it is.
Come on. We're only having sex 3 or 4 times a week.
Samantha finds out that it was Smith Jared who was on the phone with the lady who was at the auction who got the ring that she wanted.
Here.
This is a really nice closet, you gotta admit. And what makes it better is that she didn't have to she said she wanted a bigger closet, but to our knowledge, she didn't have to go in and tell him every single little thing. No, he knew exactly what was gonna make her happy. That's what makes it even better.
I can't believe your apartment sold so.
Ooh, her outfit's nice. Kierra looks good in that. Ooh, I love Charlotte's dress. So the girls end up having a montage of all Carrie's best outfits, or just outfits that are in her closet, because some of them were a little questionable. One of the funniest things to me about this montage is that they're conveniently all the same size. They all can fit her clothes. Why did that just remind me of the scene from Hannah Montana and oh my gosh, I've been dying to do a series on a Disney show from the early 2000s. I've just been really wanting to do one. That just reminded me of, the last scene of Hannah Montana where before they move into the new house and they start Hannah Montana Forever, and she turns around and they're like, oh, yay.
It didn't mean anything. It just happened once. and it's been killing me. It just happened.
So Steve announces that he cheated on Miranda and slept with someone else.
It's the cheating part, the behind my back part, the violation of the trust. That's what's killing me.
Yeah. If this was a regular situation, like, okay, you know, I feel like it's like I'm torn because I understand where Big is coming from and I understand where she's coming from. It's like, you know, she's waited this whole time for them to be married, for marriage to even be on the table. And it's like, on one hand, like he should be letting her kind of go all out because of everything he's put her through. But at the same time, I see where Big is coming from because he's coming into this in a whole different way. It is his third marriage. He did originally agree to a smaller wedding and then she just keeps on just making it bigger and bigger and bigger. No pun intended. It's a lot for him to digest. So I understand his frustration at the same time, which I can't believe I'm agreeing with Big, but yeah. And I think even to a certain degree, he knows that she deserves something that big because of what he's put her through. But he doesn't have the vocabulary to voice that he's uncomfortable.
Why didn't you say anything sooner?
You wanted all of this.
And she still does. Like, even though she would sacrifice for him, but at the end of the day, this is what she wants.
Don't you
I
want...
want you. That's what I want.
And it's so unfair because she's kind of, in a way, it feels like she's being punished for not wanting what he wants. But then I see why he wouldn't want something that big. So it's just, again, it's just such a complicated situation. So to me, it seems like, you know, they had that conversation. It seems like he's going to accept that things are going to be bigger than what he was originally thinking. And he's kind of on board.
Hey, 3 times the charm.
Hey, dickwad! I'm speaking!
There he is.
You broke us!
That was giving, you broke my heart. Remember when Aiden said that to Carrie?
I changed who I was for you.
And I think that's like the real issue. It's that Miranda feels like she changed herself a lot to be with Steve. And she did things that were out of her comfort zone because she just wanted him. And then, you know, it just all came crumbling. It's like for you to cheat on me with some random girl, you know, it's like, are you kidding me? You know, so I think she has every right to obviously be pissed. I don't think she should take him back especially because that is what she really feels. And I think she's always going to feel that till the end of time. She just needs to be with somebody that she doesn't feel like she needs to change for.
You two are crazy to get married.
So now the wheels are starting to turn, unfortunately, for Big. I can see it on his face. But I don't understand why she would say that. It really was the heat of the moment because what she said didn't even make any sense. Like, them getting married is not what caused him to cheat. Their busy schedules and the hustle and bustle, like, you know, being a family and taking care of a child together, like all of that, I feel like is what caused them to end up in this point. But it wasn't just because they got married. Carrie's worried about Big. She's worried. That's why she says, I thought you skipped out on me. That's her anxiety talking.
Because it's the last single girl kiss.
It's like, and then on top of that, Carrie is putting so much emphasis. And I don't think she's really doing it on purpose to make him nervous. Like, she's saying all this in a very jokingly way, but it's making him nervous. It's making him panic on the inside. I can see it.
It's nobody else.
If you have to just listen to me. If you have to sit here, and this is not just like me talking to whoever's listening, this is also some advice that I wish I had in the past, but if you have to sit here and convince any man, anybody to be with you, run for the hills. Because there is someone out there, I promise you, eventually you will stumble upon someone who is just obsessed with you, and you will feel so crazy forever trying to convince someone that you were worth being with. She should have broke it off here. And I know that sounds really harsh. Like, to someone listening, they're probably like, no, you know, people get cold feet. She should have broke it off here. You should never have to convince someone that you're with to be with you, ever. She looks so beautiful in this scene, by the way. Like, she just wants to get him down the aisle at this point. It's like, it's gonna cost her humiliation. I totally get where she's coming from. Like, it's gonna cost her more emotionally to, like, just accept that maybe he's not the one, or maybe we shouldn't be getting married. That's the problem. That's kind of blinding her to the fact that this is not something they should be going through with. I'm not coming from a place of, like, blaming her, because it's not her fault, but, like, they shouldn't have moved forward after this. Hope is a funny thing, guys. Hope is a funny thing. I know some people are going to disagree, but I feel like he has some trauma here with the fact that none of his marriages have worked out. Like, I just was talking about this in another video that's going to be coming out soon, or actually by the time you guys see this, it'll have already came out. I think there's trauma when you have a history of making terrible decisions and choices when it comes to relationships. And I think that's what's happening to Big, is that he knows in the past none of his other situations have worked out. He loves what he had with Carrie. He just wants to continue that, but he's scared that if he makes this choice, he's gonna ruin everything.
I need to know that it's still us.
I can never get over how well the actor that plays young Brady, he looks like a perfect blend of Miranda and Steve.
Somebody give me a phone. All right, I don't know how to work this.
That's so funny. That is hilarious. Because, like, I think at this point, I'm not totally sure, but I think iPhones were still pretty new. And that's just really funny.
I can't do this.
Oh my God.
Carrie,
He's not coming.
what the fuck am I doing? Turn around, go back.
And what helps us, though, is that we see how things are unfolding. Unfolding? Okay. And the thing is, we see how things are like unraveling with Big, and we're able to see more of his thought process. So it's kind of giving him some depth, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of helping form my opinion.
Carrie, I'm freaked out for a minute, but I'm ready now.
No, you wouldn't do this. I knew it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Carrie. Carrie,
No.
That scene is going to get me every time. It's going to get me every single time because, oh my goodness. It's like, even with you knowing that he all those moments he was having, and like kind of seeing that he's having, in a way, like a trauma response to the fact that he's never had a successful relationship. And it's almost like, I think he got caught up in this, like, it's too good to be true. It's the public display that, like, dude, it's your third marriage, the guy at the table. Like, I understand that this was wrong of him to do and how much it hurt her and all that. I love that they gave us Big's side of the story too, because I think if they had done that more throughout the show, we would have been able to kind of understand why he was making some of the choices he made. But this was a perfect execution. Like, I'm so torn right now. I'm so torn because I'm like, Big is a jerk. Yeah, but then it's like, I don't think he did this to hurt her. I think he made a very rash, immature decision for sure. And it's just so tricky. I don't think it's black and white. I think it's a lot right now. Because think about it. All that Carrie has seen is she just sees, like, they're getting married. He has little doubts. She didn't really get to see all of his panic. So she gets to see that little snippet, and she thinks that, like, he did it intentionally to hurt her, or just because he just doesn't care about her. I don't necessarily think it's that cut and dry. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Hell got into him. He was perfectly fine at the dinner.
She's looking like, ugh. And then, like, I get it. He should have pushed through. Like, when you really love someone, you don't tell someone who has a long history of commitment issues that you two are crazy for getting married. Miranda, I love you to death, but that was not a good moment on your part.
Maybe you should eat something. Oh, my clothes.
How can you be hungry at a time like this?
Find another time later.
How about, when is it gonna be a good time? I mean, like...
Well, it turns out I couldn't... I can't go to Mexico. I have a job.
You're part of the reason why Big probably didn't show... I mean, he had his own other stuff going on, but you pushed him. You kind of were the hand behind his back, pushing him in that direction. He was already feeling things about the thing, okay? It's not totally her fault, but you had a hand in it. You might want to have a hand on that flight.
Let's look around.
I love that they did this. I love that they looked around and made sure that there was nothing around that would remind her of what happened. That is true friendship. I don't even see how she went on that. I couldn't have gone. Because, like, it's just a constant reminder of everything you've lost.
Oh my God.
I just like that this is definitely an accurate depiction of like a breakup.
Did I dream it?
That is the worst. Oh my God, that is the worst. One of the worst parts about a breakup is that moment. I've had that moment multiple times where like you wake up and it's like it was so terrible that you literally feel like you dreamed it. Then you're instantly reminded that it's real and you gotta process it. And that's what you need. You need people to do stuff like that when you're in a very dark place. It's hard to like move forward and imagine your life after something that, you know, you just put all your stock into and all that. It's just really, really, really hard.
It's a 5-star resort.
It's Mexico.
That's distasteful.
Your coffee?
Me?
Yeah, of course. This one's married, and she's not growing a national forest.
A national forest is crazy.
But any thicker, and you won't be able to find it.
I'm trying not to laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny.
I'm fine.
And that's what I think it's kind of a little, not really easy to forget, but you forget that Miranda's also going through a breakup too. To be fair, she didn't get left at the altar, but she got cheated on. I mean, that's kind of in the same... I bet you Miranda wishes she got left at the altar.
You made a little joke. Good for you.
Oh, honey, you made a little joke.
The good guys screw you, bad guys screw you.
And the rest of them don't know how to screw you. Trust me. I've done the legwork.
Everything I know, after 20 years of...
Yeah, it's all so hot. 3 days in. Did you just...
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Charlotte Poughkeepsied in her pants. Miranda was right. Funny. I laughed. Why do you think you're right for this job? So you're St. Louis.
Carrie hires an assistant, Louise from St. Louis. And so I guess this is the part where she's going to start trying to piece her life back together and move forward without Big.
We're watching Lily while I went to the doctor.
Oh, Charlotte looks fabulous.
I'm pregnant.
I guess fairy tales do come true. I got an email from Big. I don't know what to say. Email?
It's the fact that I recognize most of these products and that stores don't look that different from this now.
I've been meaning to tell you. At the rehearsal dinner...
And then I saw it after what I'd been through. Bradshaw is still single and living in New York City. Hi, honey. Hi. Hey.
Side note, I love seeing Carrie as an aunt. I hated the brown hair. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. And I'm saying this for the people who hated it just as much as I did, because I'm sure there's somebody out there who hated it just as much as me. If you didn't hate it, please skip this part. But I'm just saying, I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Oh my God. Every time I saw it, I was just like, why? Why would they do this to you?
Louise.
Oh, I hate it. Oh my God. Wait, why are my captions on? I don't know. It's just like Carrie's look is like, that's the one consistent thing about her look is that hair. And I could not get behind it. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'm not woke. I don't know. I like the color. Let me be clear. I like the color. I just don't like it for Carrie.
Stop looking at him.
I will never get over the fact that this is Angelo from Switched at Birth, ever.
What would happen if these were to magically disappear? Wait, Kierra, not that one. Do you miss him?
Every day. But trust me, the subtext of that text, bootay.
Carrie, every time I try to like you.
Why are you not?
Because I'm afraid something bad is gonna happen. It's a miracle I'm even pregnant. I'm so happy that I'm terrified. You're such good people, and look at what happened to you. Of course something bad is gonna happen to me.
You shit your pants this year. Maybe you're done. You can't stop being who you are because you're afraid, right?
Oh my God, that just gave me like, oh my God, memories. Like when I was pregnant, I remember being like, Oh my God. Like, I remember feeling the exact same way. It's like the moment I found out, it was like, oh my gosh, yes, you know, that moment. And then shortly after I found out, it was just like, uh-oh. I felt so fragile. I felt like I couldn't really do anything because I was so terrified. Like, I remember I psyched myself out so bad before I got pregnant, and I was just convinced that, like, there's no way that it was all gonna work out, or that the baby was gonna be completely healthy, or that, like, I was in my head. I even convinced myself that I was like infertile at one point because I just was going down these rabbit holes of information, and I kept seeing all these women who were talking about their stories, and it just kind of made me feel like, well, what are the chances that that's not going to happen to me? Like, why would that not be my story? So, yeah, I totally related to everything Charlotte was feeling just now. I'm gonna tell you one thing though, running when you're in your last trimester, oh my God. Like, I remember being like I could feel the umbilical cord kind of like tugging as I was running. If I even tried to do just a light jog, it's like it got to the point, like towards the end, it was like I could feel her entire body. I could feel every movement. I could feel like it just felt like a big old rock or something was just inside, and it was just like just tugging on my belly. Like, oh my God, I hated the third trimester. Hated it. Oh, I hated it. It was very uncomfortable. Like, I kept having this thing when I was pregnant where I couldn't stand up for more than like 10 minutes, or actually at first it started off with 10 minutes and then it went all the way down to like I couldn't even stand up for 30 seconds without feeling like I was gonna pass out. Like, I had to make sure I ate every single day because my iron levels were super low. It was a lot going on with that. Like, my energy level, especially towards the very end, I was just over it.
It's like a good one.
Go.
Ooh, her hair looks good. I saw a tweet on Twitter, obviously, that was like Harry gave her that ugly ass bag. It's not even funny. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts, guys. It's not like butt ugly. It's just, it wouldn't be for me. But that's because everything I like is pink. So yeah.
And a cup of noodles.
Did y'all hear about the noodles, by the way? Speaking of, did y'all hear that we were never supposed to be heating those up in the microwave? I saw something about that on TikTok. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently they just made microwavable cup of noodles. And I'm like, we weren't supposed to be microwaving those? I think it's like we weren't supposed to be microwaving them within the cup. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
His little New York accent. Happy New Year. I love Judy Garland. And like, God, her story makes me so sad. I saw this one interview. No, this is completely off the subject, but I saw this one interview. She was like talking about how she looked in The Wizard of Oz, and she was like, yeah, like I was a fat little pig. And it just made me like so emotional. It made me want to cry because it's like she definitely was not, and I know that was like a result of the people that she worked with on set that made her feel subconscious about herself and her weight. And she was just so beautiful. Like, this world, man, like if you let people, they will destroy you.
Hello.
We're having a fabulous time.
I love this song so much. And this is one of those moments from Carrie where it's like, okay, point for you, because Miranda's all alone because Steve took Brady on New Year's because it was like his night or whatever. I guess they have like split custody or shared or whatever. And so, yeah, he went to take Brady and Miranda's all by herself, and it's like her first New Year's in a while being all alone. So Carrie hops up out of bed and she goes to see her. Oh my goodness, Charlotte looks so cute. I love it. That's cute. They had him sleeping in the exact same position. That's cute.
Are you also suggesting that she forgive Big?
I could kill Big.
Sometimes when I'm running, I imagine what I would say to him. Do you want to hear it? I curse the day you were born.
That's a very Charlotte appropriate line.
Better work up a hand gesture to go with it. I don't know what fashion show is.
First murder! Murder! God, I miss New York.
Hello?
God, I miss home phones.
You're on steroids.
No.
Oh my God, I love Miranda's hair.
The whole wedding was my point of view.
She has a good point there. Like, it's not totally Miranda's fault. She does have a good point, and that's kind of the point I was making. It's not really like one person is in the wrong and the other person is right. I don't feel like that. I feel like it's like they both had things they could have done differently. Right before heartbreak. Ugh.
I said that you two were crazy to get married.
For the last 5 months, I've been thinking that it is a huge mistake that you left Steve. There, how does it feel?
There truly wasn't a right time for her to tell her. I mean, what do you guys think? You think that she should have told her, he should have tried to tell her every single day? Or, I mean, I just feel like she shouldn't have said it at all. But, you know, obviously you can't, sometimes you say things in the heat of the moment, you can't always take them back. I get that, but I just wish she hadn't said it.
I need to talk to you. Please get in. It just hit 18. I never meant to hurt you. You have to forgive me.
Days, and you won't even consider forgiving Steve for something he did 6 months ago.
It's not the same thing.
It's really not. And I don't like this. Because what Steve did is not the same thing as what she did.
Steve, you're very quiet.
Because the thing about him cheating, it's like, who's to say that at any point he won't just have another slip up because he's not getting any? Like, he doesn't even really know, like, the reason why. Like, if you don't really know the reason why you did something wrong, you can't stop yourself from doing it next time.
You made it hard for me to trust you.
Me?
The way you treated me and cut me out of your life, yeah, I broke a vow. What about the other vows? Like,
what are we talking about?
I'm afraid you're gonna have to base this decision on your emotions. Food.
That is like the worst piece of advice.
The other news.
I'm moving back to St. Louis, and we're getting married.
Oh, I love her outfit. So Miranda and Steve end up reconciling their differences and they decide to make it work moving forward. But I would have loved to see more of like how they got to their solution, because again, I just feel like if you don't know why you did something wrong, like how are you supposed to stop yourself from doing it next time? Yeah, that's like my only things. You know, there are rare cases where people do commit adultery and then they never do it again. There are cases like that.
Mother of God, what's with the gut?
I didn't realize how big I was until I saw it on your faces.
I hate this. Oh my God, I hate this. Cause like, she's not even... Oh, it's just so annoying. It's so annoying because she's literally... That is like nothing. That's nothing. Like, girl, please. I can't. Whew. And the thing is, I keep telling myself like, oh, we've come so far as a society, you know, people are not fat phobic anymore, blah, blah, blah. Then I go to Twitter. So
I should be able to stay in this relationship for him.
You just compared your relationship to chemo.
Dang. She showed it.
I love you, but I love me more.
I'm gonna need to take that now.
Return to my life. Someone left.
God, this movie's so dang on sad.
Don't run, you're pregnant.
I was always on your side. You go and you do that to Carrie. I cursed the day you were born.
I think my water just broke.
She's gorgeous.
That baby's clearly like 3 months old, but aww. Or at least 2 months. Charlotte runs into Big, and while she's trying to go eat out at a restaurant, she ends up going into labor. And then Big tells Harry that he's been writing to Carrie, but she never responded. So Carrie figures out that he's probably been emailing her because earlier in the movie, she told her assistant, Louise, to only send emails from Big to a separate location. And so now she's trying to get in contact with her to figure out the password to get to those emails.
Plus one more.
I am such a sap. Oh my God. I'm sitting here about to cry because I'm like, at the beginning of the movie, she was trying to tell Big, remember when I was like, bring back, love letters and blah, blah, blah. I said that because she was talking to Big about how she missed when men, used to write love letters, and asked him about why he never wrote her one. And so he was like, that's just not really my style or whatever. And so she goes through her email just now and finds all these love letters that were written by like other men who wrote love letters, I guess, and he's dedicating all those to her, and he just kept sending her love letters and all that. That's crazy how she yells out taxi and immediately one shows up. I always figure it takes a while.
I was going to get these to you. I didn't want it to be a total loss.
Oh, I'm such a sap.
You know the funny part?
Is there a funny part?
Right.
Carrie Bradshaw, love of my life, will you marry me? Ever thine, ever mine, ever. Still, it would have been nice if you had the girls here, which is why I called.
So the movie ends with Big and Carrie getting married at the courthouse, and he ends up inviting the girls to be there and celebrate with Carrie. Oh man, this movie. It took me a minute to get through this, y'all. I'm so sorry that it was so late. I'm going to try to start on the next movie hopefully as soon as possible. And wow, just I did really like the movie. Like, I had my little critiques as I always do, but I really did like the movie. I guess that means I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.